عزیز طلبہ و طالبات، فروق فاؤنڈیشن آن لائن اسکول کے ذریعے یکساں نصاب کے مطابق تعلیم حاصل کریں۔ اگر ہماری ویڈیوز پسند آئیں تو چینل کو سبسکرائب کریں اور دوستوں کے ساتھ شیئر کریں اور بیل آئیکن کو لازمی دبائیں تاکہ آئندہ آنے والی تعلیمی ویڈیوز آپ حاصل کر سکیں۔
بچو تاسو آنلاین سکول نه خپل پوره تعلیم کوی شئ او بورډ کلاسز د انم او لسم ولم پاس کول شئ. تاسو خپل نور تعلیم هم حاصل کوی شئ. خپل عمر مطابق خپل مور او پلار ته فون یا لیپټاپ ذریعے مونږ سره آنلاین کلاس هستن دپاره خبره کوی شئ. روزانه یو یا 2 غنټه آنلاین کلاس اخلئ او چې بیا تاسو سکول ته ځئ نو تاسو ته به نور مدد ضرورت نه وي. داسې پړۍ سره تاسو خپل ټایم او د مور پلار پیسې هم بچ کوی شئ. آنلاین کلاس څه هم فیس نشته. تاسو زوم باندې خپل نور هم کلاس هستی شئ او هر مضمون والا مکمل ویڈیوز موجودی دي. So now we are going to do the rest of the exercise of the chapter number 5, that is democracy. And first of all we are going to solve the filling the blanks, and these are the blanks that are given from the chapter. These blanks are from within the chapter. So the first one is, in Pakistan elections are to be held after every 5 years. Like the government changes after every 5 years. The president nominates the prime minister of Pakistan. So the president is the highermost, and then he is the head of the country, and the prime minister is the head of the government. So the head of the country is selected first, and later on the president himself selects the prime minister. The members of the parliament elect the president. The members of parliament and the provincial assembly elect the president. And who elects the president? The members of parliament and the provincial assembly. These both bodies, the members of these both bodies select the president, who is the head of the state. In monarchy, all powers of the government is in the hands of the king or queen, whoever rules the state or the country. All the powers rest with them. All people have equal rights and duties. In democracy, we believe that people have equal rights and duties. So this is the main stance of the democracy. The next is read silently with comprehension to extract main idea and supporting detail of the following paragraph. So let me first read this paragraph, and then we will point out the main idea and the supporting detail of this paragraph. Like, what is the main idea? First we will point out that, and later on we are going to give some arguments in support of it. So let's the paragraph get started reading. There was a time when almost every country in the world was ruled by a king or queen. When a king died, his son became a king. He appointed his own ministers and other officers. He removed them whenever he wished. If the king was good and wise, the country made progress, and the people were happy. But all the kings were not good and wise. If the king was incompetent, he ruled unwisely. He spent the government money not for the good of his people, but for his own personal enjoyment. The people had no voice in the affairs of the state. This form of government is called monarchy. So I have read this whole paragraph. By reading this paragraph, I have come to know that this is about monarchy. It is a kind of a government in which a king or a queen rules the whole country. So this paragraph is focusing on the idea of the monarchy, that what is monarchy. And so this would be the main idea. Main idea is something that the whole paragraph revolves around it. All the details or all the information, the rest of the sentences revolve around this central theme. It is the main idea. So in this paragraph, the main idea is that monarchy was a form of government in which a country is ruled by a king or a queen. So this is the main idea. Later on, the rest of the things like the supporting details, it is that they have ministers and officers, they spend money for their personal enjoyment, people had no voice in the affairs of the state. Now first we have defined that what is the main idea, that is monarchy. Now what it is in their monarchy, like they have their own ministers and they have own officers. There is no like certain thing of like democracy or anything like it is more like a dictatorship or not, and less like a democracy. So here we have given some more information, like they spend money for their personal enjoyment, like they do not think about their people most of the time. They mostly spend their money for their personal enjoyment, and people had no voice in the affairs of the state. So this is the supporting details of the main idea of the monarchy. Hope you get it. So now we will be learning what is context or comparison clues. When attempting to interpret the meaning of a new word, it is often useful to look at what comes before and after that word. The surrounding words can give readers helpful context clues about the meaning and the structure of the new word, as well as how it is used. For example, it was an idyllic day means sunny, warm, and perfect for a walk in the park. Here, the deduced meaning is ideal, and its synonym is peaceful and calm. So by reading this whole thing about context or comparison clue, we have come to know that if we do not know about the meaning of a certain word, and if we are not sure that what does it really mean and what is the function of this word in that particular sentence, so by knowing that what comes before or and after that word, we can simply know about the meaning of that word. We can simply give an idea of that word. So in this way we can deduce meaning. This is the deduction of meaning. But here it comes that there is also a synonymous meaning, which is the perfect meaning of that word according to which it is used there. So simply this is what we call context, and this is what we call comparison clues. Comparison clues means that you search for the words before and after that particular word in order to deduce the meaning of that word. So this gives us the concept of context. So context विषय context this is शेयर करना चाहिए अहम कलमु तो यो word समझ न रही पैराग्राफ की नमुज़ कुछ अहे न चुकुम अवल अहे न बात की कुम लफ्ज़ न रही अहे वाला मु अहोद वाला मतलब कमु तरची नमु तगे न पता वाला कि चदा मुश्किल word वाला से मतलब दा दे तो मु context या यो वी deduce meaning और यो वी synonymous meaning. Deduced meaning आवी चुकुम मुख्पला अंदाज़न वाला को synonymous meaning को वी चुकुम अख word वाला खपल सही meaning वी नो दे तरीके से रमू तक यो वर्ड वाला मीनिंग नहीं पता नमू आहा कॉन्टेक्स्ट थ्रू चदा कि नमू तो पता लगी देशी चे द वर्ड वाला मगज़ी कितना मतलब दा. Utilize comparison clues to deduce the meaning of underlined words. Also find the synonyms from thesaurus. She hums continuously or all the time. It annoys me. Hums means sound produced with lips closed. The dates are listed in chronological order. They started at the beginning and end with the last event. Chronological order means the things that happen in order of time, like what happens first and then later on what happens next. So in the order of time, the events that occur, we say that they occur in chronological order. Her animosity or hatred of her sister had divided the family. Animosity means hatred or opposition. Bilal felt remorse or shame for his harsh words. Remorse means to feel regret or to feel guilty of something one has done wrong. The fifth one is this situation is a conundrum, a puzzle for everyone. Conundrum means difficult, or as it has mentioned that it is a puzzle for everyone, means something that is difficult or something that cannot be solved easily. So it means difficult. हम्स वाला मतलब जैसे भी जो साउंड जैसे प्रोड्यूस की चे आगा कला इंसान शुंडे बंद भी हो गए चुकुम साउंड प्रोड्यूस की आगा तो हमिंग साउंड ये chronological order ahead tay chikum yo time mutabik yo event ki bain badbal event ki no jede se ki pama yo bal event ki mu yo chronological order ki chikum time wala order ki balda animosity matlab नफ़रत था और रिमोर्स चिकला इंसान था पछतावा कीगी और कॉन्ट्रम डिफ़िकल्ट मतलब चयुशे मुश्किल भी आगाज़ से नहीं सर न सॉल्व कीगी verbs be, do, have and need as main and as an auxiliary verbs. So we are going to learn that what is an auxiliary verb. An auxiliary verb helps the main verb and is also called a helping verb. With auxiliary verbs, you can write sentences in different tenses, moods, or voices. So, what is the function of auxiliary verb? Its function is to help the main verb in completing an action. Like we have got two different types of words. One is main verb, the main action that is being done by the subject, and another one is the auxiliary verb that helps the main verb in completing that action. So it is also called helping verb. Auxiliary verb ahite chikum main verb sara yo action complete kai. Main verb ahata chikum baki ki yo action kai subject. O chikum auxiliary verb ta aha main verbs that can help kai chi aha action complete ki. No ahite tamu helping verb miayu. Auxiliary verb tamu helping verb miayu. Auxiliary verb chida kana mu ahe de china chida kana mu bela tenses ki khabara kavel chu de bela voices chumukum moods di ya voices di ya tenses di ta har samu pake changes kavel chu tishi de china auxiliary verb de china. Now we will be learning that how these words are used as an auxiliary verb and as a main verb. B. She is preparing dinner for us. He was received by his friends and they were studying all night. So now you can see here is, was and were are the different forms of the verb be. So here they are used in order to link the help the main verb, that is the preparing, in order to complete that action. So is helping preparing, was received, they were studying. The main verb here is studying, received and preparing, and is, was and were are the auxiliary verb. I am from Ahmedabad. They were here. My friends are late. So you can see here am, were and are. Now they are acting now here as main verb. There is no other verb, so they themselves are acting as the main verb. Do. I do not know the truth. Do you want to have another one? I do agree with you. So here you can see already a main verb is present, that is no. In first sentence, that is no. So do is helping that verb in order to complete the sentence. In the second one, we can see that want is a main verb and do is helping it. In another sentence, do is the auxiliary verb and agree is the main verb. In the next sentences, as a main verb, we can see we have done the shopping. She did her homework. I am doing my homework. So you can see here done and did and doing. These are used as main verb here. Have. I have been following you. We have done a lot so far. She had been the leader of the party. So here have is used as have and had. These are the three different forms in which they are used as an auxiliary verb. And in the next sentences, as a main verb, I have a car. We had a lot of homework. Her father will have a good job. So have, had and have. These are now used as the main verb because no other verb is present here. Need. She need not hurry. She need look at the picture. He need no more reply. He needs to come with us. They do not need to hurry. He needs a new watch. So you can see here how these words are used as auxiliary verb, and when there is no other verb present, so they also act as the main verb. Read the following sentences carefully. Tell whether the underlined word is main or helping verb. What has been done? Like this old house has no central heating. It is the main verb. Has. She was forgetting her problems. It is an auxiliary verb because forgetting is already present as the main verb. So it's an auxiliary verb. Do you have a glass of water? It's a main verb. He is not thinking about his pain. Auxiliary verb because thinking is the main verb. I have had this computer for 3 years. Main verb. They had done their homework. So it's also a main verb. Hope the main verb and auxiliary verb concept is clear to you. Linking verbs. Linking verbs do not show action. Instead, they link the subject with the word or words in the predicate that tells something about the subject. Linking verbs show a relationship between the subject of the sentence and a noun or adjective being linked to it. So now we are going to learn the concept of the linking verbs. For example, if we have a sentence, in a sentence there is a subject and there is a predicate. So in order to link these both parts like subject and predicate, we are going to do it with the help of the linking verbs. So linking verb is not showing the main action. It is only linking the subject with the predicate, or the predicate might sometimes might it be a noun, or it might be an adjective. So it depends on the sentence. For example, in the here, she was a good friend. Now she and a good friend both are noun. So noun is being linked to the noun with the help of the verb, which is a linking verb. And she was very happy. She is a noun and very happy is an adjective. So here the verb is linking the noun to the adjective. The most common linking verbs are the forms of the verb to be, am, is, are, was, were, being, been. These most of the time these words are used as the linking verbs. Like they are most frequently used. They are time and again used. So linking verbs वाला concept दसे था कहना चाहिए linking verbs हमेशा subject और predicate खपला के link कई आगाज से खपल action न present कई आगाज से main verb न दा आगाज से action verb न दा अही वाला सिर्फ function दा कहना चाहिए आगाज subject और predicate खपला के मिलाओ कई उस दे वाला example वो दसे के कतल शु ची she was a good friend नो she और good friend चिदा कहना आगाज बड़ा noun दी नो मुझे उस दिन पता चला कि ची was through चिदा कहना you verb चिदा कहना आगाज बड़ा noun खपला के मतलब subject और predicate खपला के link कई she was very happy this के she or very happy you noun the you adjective the that बड़ा खपला की ची through link थी was वाला no the mostly चिदा कहना subject और predicate खपला के link कई और खपल action खपल action in every दे तमु linking verbs आयु. Some other linking verbs are now we have studied that what are the most frequently used here in the box, but there are also other linking verbs like become, appear, feel, look, remain, seem, get, go, grow, taste, smell, sound. If the above words are substituted with am, are, is, the words are linking verbs. Other than they are the action verb. Okay, so if in these two boxes keep in mind that these are the linking verbs, and if in a sentence these words come, it means that they are linking verbs. So in the below here we are going to solve. She grew into a fine young woman. Grew is a linking verb because it is linking subject and predicate. Most people drink coffee or tea every day. Drink is an action verb. They are performing it. The vanilla ice cream tasted good. Tasted. So the vanilla ice cream and good are being linked through the subject through the tasted, the word tasted, so which it is acting as a linking verb. He became the first man on the moon. Became is a linking verb. The class ate all the burgers at the party. Ate is an action verb because they are performing it. The action is being performed here. A snake will go for anything nearing it. Will go is also an action being performed. So it's an action verb. The girl looked great in the red dress. Looked. It's in a linking verb because it is linking the girl and the dress. Like she looked great in the red dress. He grew tired of all the negative talk. It's a linking verb. We have also studied that these words like look, grew, or became, or tasted. All these are the linking verbs. So hope now things are clear that what is linking verb or what is action verb and what is main verb and what is an auxiliary verb. These are very different kinds of verbs which we need to understand. So now we are going to learn about a new kind of a verb, that is modal verb. Modal verbs are a type of auxiliary verb which expresses the mood of another verb. They are used to express the ideas such as something is certain, probable or possible, or talking about ability, asking permission, making requests and offers, and so on. So here modal verbs are also a type of, you can say, helping verb or an auxiliary verb, or you can say a linking verb. No, not a linking verb at all, but auxiliary verb and a helping verb. It expresses the mood of another verb. Like if something is happening or if another action is happening, what is meant by it and in what mood it is being performed. So it tells us about the mood of the another verb. So if it tells us whether something is possible, whether something is being asked as a request or an order or as an offer, or if someone is talking about ability, or if someone is asking for a permission. So all these things are become clear with the help of the using modal verbs. Modal verbs شده کنه auxiliary verbs as auxiliary verbs use کاوشو اهیتمو helping verb میایو اهینمو تچیشه پتا لگی چی بل verb چی کومو sentence کے use کاو اهینمو تاهی والا mood والا پتا لگی چی آها اصل کے the verb والا mood سے دا آها as a request use شوه دا آها as an offer use شوه دا کته چانه permission خلی چی یو کار وکی یت چاولا قبلیت خای ability خای دا هر یو شی والا موډ مو ته چیز نه پته لګي modal verbs. نو modal verbs چې ده که نه auxiliary verbs دي هم د مو helping verbs هم ویل شو هغه ول څه د خپل اکشن نه وي خو هغه مو ته بل verb والا موډ بری کې خي. Now we are going to solve some examples here. Like the first one is can and cannot. It's an auxiliary, a modal verb. So here they can fix the problem. So it shows the ability. They cannot fix the problem, inability. Can I have a cup of tea, please? It's a request. Can I go with you? It's a permission. We could meet at the weekend. So it's a suggestion or advice. Can I help you? It's an offer or invitation. It could have been Rashid because he is in Swat. So it's a doubt. The next one is may or may not. May I go to the toilet? Asking for permission. I may be able to help you with your work. It's a possibility. Should and should not. It's nearly 6 o'clock. They should arrive soon. It shows probability or means something is going to happen. We should go by train. Suggestion or advice. Should I help you with that? Offer an invitation. I would be studying but I'm too tired. It's an obligation. Like he wants to do something but he still is too tired. Like, so it shows the mood of the subject or the mood of the verb. We are given here examples and it shows us that how a slight change in the sentence can change the function of that verb. It might be sometimes permission, it might be sometime suggestion or an offer or an obligation or advice, anything it can be. Now let us fill in the blanks with a modal verb. There is more than one answer in some sentences. The first one is, may I borrow your rubber please? Yes, of course you can. So the first one is asking for a permission. So we can use it here as asking for permission. May is used as for permission also. Yes, you can. Yes, you can use it. He is showing that he is allowed to use it. Don't touch that wire because it can be dangerous. So it can is used as an advice or a suggestion. I used to swim quite well when I was 5 years old. I do not know what is the wrong with this sentence, but here used to is used. It's also a sort of modal verb. Sonia should practice much if she wants to take part in the race. Should. Should means one is giving a suggestion here. We should go by train. Like there in example, we learned that it's also used as a suggestion or advice. You shouldn't cook those vegetables because they have already cooked. Like you are also giving a suggestion or advice because the vegetables are already cooked, so you need not to cook it again. So here we are using as shouldn't. Hope now modal words are somehow clear to you that how it can be used in different ways. In these lines, we are now going to learn what is semi-modal verbs. Semi-modal verbs are also modal verbs, but they are like subdivision of those main modal verbs. So the first one is might. I'm just going to read it out. Hope you will read it for yourself. Like the might is used in different situations when we are not sure about something. In this, we can take a single example, like I might see you tomorrow, as the past tense of may for requests. He asked if he might borrow the car. So it's kind of request, showing request. For very polite requests, may I ask you a question? It gives us a polite gesture when you are asking someone about something. So the shall is used to make offers. Shall I help you with that? Or to make promises. I shall never forget where I came from. So these here we are mostly focusing on the functions or the uses of these words. The next one is must. We must use. So to show we are sure something is true, it must be quite late. With have for the past, they must have been hungry. Like we are here using it with have, and we are talking about the past. They must have been hungry. For a very light, polite invitation, you must come round and see us. For obligation and necessity, everyone must bring something to eat. Like everyone should do this. It shows an obligation that everyone is bound to do a certain action. So here it is clear that these three modal verbs that are used as semi-modal verbs have affirmative, negative, interrogative functions in the sentences. They can be used in three of the ways. It might be affirmative means when they are used in positive sentences, negative when they are used with the word not, and interrogative when they are used in as a questions. So all of them can be used in three of the ways. So hope you need to learn these things by yourself because these are the rules. It shows us the rules that how can it be used in different ways. Could. We use could to talk about past time. She could speak several languages. Ask for permission to do something. Could I ask a question, please? And say that someone had the ability or opportunity to do something. She could have learned stitching, but she didn't have time. So there are three kind of functions of the could, like the way in which could be used. It can be used in affirmative, negative, and interrogative form of sentences, as we have learned here in the examples. So like if you're asking for a permission, or we are talking about some past event, or if someone had a certain ability, in all these situations we use the word or the modal verb could. The next one is ought to. We use ought to after the subject and before another word. For example, here it is we ought to do more exercise. Here the subject is we and do is another verb, and in between these two words comes the ought to. Forming questions we don't use do, does or did. So instead of using do, does or did, we use ought in order to make a question, like ought we to be more worried about the environment. And the last one is the ought can't be used with another modal verb. So keep these things in mind that when you are using ought, you should not use another modal verb with it. It should be used singly. Like medicine ought to be free. We ought not to have ordered so much food. So as it is with the case of the rest of the semi-modal verbs, ought is also used in affirmative, negative and interrogative form of sentences. So these things are common among all these semi-modal verbs. They are equally and same used in the affirmative, negative and interrogative sentences. Like we can make all these three kind of sentences through these modal verbs. So the next one is the exercise, and I will be solving this exercise for you people, in which we are going to make sentences using all these 5 semi-modal verbs. Now we are going to make sentences using these modal verbs, like each affirmative, negative and interrogative sentences using these words. The first one is could. I could write poems. This is an affirmative sentence, a positive sentence. I couldn't run so fast. This is a negative sentence because we are using not here. Could you please go away? Interrogative. We are forming a question here. Might. I might go to park tomorrow. It's an affirmative and showing a prediction. He might not come to party because he is ill. Negative. Might we go for a walk? Interrogative. So here might is mostly used here in terms of possibility or in terms of probability. Ought. We ought to do our homework. It's an affirmative sentence. We ought not to have wasted our time. Negative. Ought she to call the police? It's an interrogative sentence. Here we can see that all of them have the similar uses, like they can be used in affirmative, negative or interrogative form of sentences. The next one is shall. I shall help you with the work. Affirmative. I shall not forget to do my homework. It's a negative sentence. Shall I prepare my test? Interrogative. Must. We must follow the rules. Affirmative. You must not play in the garden. Negative. Must I go there by tomorrow? It's an interrogative sentence. So with the help of these words, with the help of these semi-modal verbs, we can make affirmative, negative and interrogative sentences. Daha semi-modal verbs chukumdi could, might, ought, shall, must. The this words they should namu affirmative sentences matlab positive sentences, negative sentences matlab chukum ke not use kigi, और interrogative sentences चुकुम के मु questions जुड़ो नो दा अटोल words चिदा कना दा का किस्म वाला sentences जुड़ा वेशी equally हरियो के दा शरत ललची नो दा का semi modal verbs चिदा कना ही ना मु दा का sentences जोड़ कर लूँ हरियो वाला मु use वखलू चुकुमी तरीके सरा the words sentences के इस्तेमालीगी. Transitive and intransitive verb. A transitive verb is a verb that has an object. An intransitive verb is a verb that does not have an object. For example, I drink coffee every day. Drink is a verb and coffee is an object. So drink is a transitive verb because it needs an object. I run every day. Run is a verb. Run is an intransitive verb because it does not need an object. So understanding the concept of transitive and intransitive verbs, there is only a single difference between the two, that one needs an object and the other do not need an object to complete the sentence. Like if we are talking about transitive verb, so there must be an object in order to make a sense of that sentence. If there is no need of an object, like the sentence gives us the complete sense, so there is no need of putting an object at the end of the sentence. So in that case, that verb is an intransitive verb. Transitive verb आखिरी शुकुम दे पारा sentence के वाला end के जुदा कना object ज़रूरत भी. End की या middle की कलम जितम भी खागे दे पारा object वाला किधन देर ज़्यादा ज़रूरी भी. और intransitive verb के object वाला ज़रूरत नहीं दोरा sentence जुदा कना खपलन sense वर्की यही वाला मतलब सही जुड़ी बगैर object ना. और transitive verb के چې مو آبجیکٹ والا آبجیکٹ نه لګو نه هي والا سنس نه جوړیږي نو هي د وجې نه چې ده که نه سنټنس کمپلیټ نه لاګي نو دو دواړو مانس کې صرف دغه یو ډفرنس ده چې یو کې آبجیکٹ وي او بل کې آبجیکٹ نه وي. Pick out the verbs in the following sentences and tell in each case whether the verb is intransitive or transitive. The sentence in which the verb is transitive, name the object. So here we are going to solve this exercise. Bad boys hide their faults. It's an intransitive verb. Here the verb is hide and the object is faults. Some boys threw stones at the frogs. It's also a transitive because here an object is the frog and verb is threw. My new watch keeps good time. It's a transitive verb. Here keeps is the verb and good time is the object. The sun rises in the east, intransitive, because here there is no object. And the frog jumped out of the pond. It's intransitive. Here the object is the out of the pond and the verb is jumped. The birds flew towards west, intransitive. Here again, flew is the verb that is intransitive and there is no object in it. Complete the following by supplying an object. The horse kicked the child. So here we are going to place the object. The teacher punished the students. A shoemaker makes shoes. My brother wrote a letter. He broke a glass. So do you remember here we are transitive verbs require an object to complete the sentence and intransitive verbs do not require any object to complete the sentence. This is the same thing we have repeated earlier. So hope this concept is clear to you now that what is transitive and what is intransitive verbs. And at the end we are going to make sentences using these intransitive verbs. So the first word is sneeze. She sneezes loudly. Agree. She finally agrees. Appear. He appeared oftentimes. Love. He loved mysteriously. Arrive. I arrived earlier this morning. So here you can see, using these intransitive verbs, there is no need of the subject at the end of the sentence. They even give a complete sense without the use of any object in the sentence. So this is the thing which keeps intransitive verb different from the transitive verb. Hope their use is clear to you now, that how we use these intransitive verbs in these sentences. Fill in with the plural form of the irregular noun in brackets. Here we are going to put the plural form of the irregular nouns. What are irregular nouns? We do not have the proper form or anything like that. So we are going to put the plural form of the irregular nouns. Okay. Kareem saw two women in the field. So here women, WOMAN is used for a single woman and WOMEN is used for plural form. 5 children were playing in the backyard. The farmer had 7 geese. Geese is the plural of goose. 2 men helped move the load. Man, again like women, is replaced by the alphabet E in the center of the man. So which means it's the plural form. Circle the collective noun. What are collective nouns? Instead of using a singular noun, we use a proper collective noun for whole of the group or the certain group of people that are in a specific field. So we use a particular word for them, like the army walked across the land. Here army is a collective noun. The troops headed towards the battlefield. Troops is a collective noun. The flock of geese flew over the lake. Flock. The herd moved towards the river. Herd is a collective noun. I bought a bouquet of flowers from the market. Bouquet is a collective noun. Collective noun akhitwi chikum mu yug group vi people wala ya group vi animals wala ya flowers wala living vi ka non living things vi ahede para har yoshi de para mukhbar yo certain word use ko chikala aga तादाद की ज़ैत भी نمو به اهده para yo kaste para yo word na istimalu ahede para mu yo certain word which aha ode para istimaligi no ahete mu be collective noun yayu like a army ke soldier soldiers vi no aho atolo tamu army yayu mu yo chite yo kastani yayu army pura country wal army ta atolo de para mu use ko no dese ke army show troops show fox show herd bouquet the atol collective nouns ke rachi. Underline the correct possessive form for the following animate nouns. Possessive form is that when a thing is owned by someone. May it be an animal or may it be human or whoever it is. Like here, the bird's nest is in my yard. So the second option is the correct one. The squirrel's tail is bushy. Second one option. The children's trip to the zoo was fun. The second option. The puppy's tail wags when he is happy. Puppies, the second option. The duck's home is in the lake. Ducks, the first option. Possessive form ahe to hi chikala yoshe yokas chida kana on kai aya khawalevi no ahe case ke chida kana mu possessive form use ko aur possessive form wala pehchan se vich aham mu ahe noun naba chida kana apostrophe a chu be s a chu no dai ahe wala possessive form vi hamesha. Circle the indefinite pronoun in each sentence below. Indefinite pronouns that we are not sure who the person is. It can be anyone. So in that case, we use indefinite pronoun for that person or anyone. Indefinite pronoun ahitavi chikalamu tadana vipata chudakas sogda aga sogam kideshi. So mucha bareke sure no chudama aga kasta. No ahe case ke mu indefinite pronoun use ko. Make sure to tell everybody about my birthday party. Here is everybody indefinite pronoun. Everybody wants to win the game. Everybody again. She is the one who helps me the most. One. Please tell someone to wash the dishes. Someone. Everything we have done has been by the book. Everything. Read the following sentences carefully. Tell whether the underlined word is main or helping verb. As we have already learned that what is the main verb or what is the helping verb. A helping verb is also called as auxiliary verb. We have learned these things. So the first one is, do you want to go for a picnic? Do is a helping verb. Go is the main verb here. So do is the helping verb. She has had her dog since 2015. Has here is used as the main verb. He needs to go to the doctor. Needs is the helping verb and go is the main verb here. Lubna has been talking for 10 minutes. Has is the helping verb and talking is the main verb. He was planning a trip to Murray. Was is the main verb. Fill in the blanks with the modal verb. There is more than one answer in some sentences. The girls should go to the school to learn. Here it shows obligation. If you are interested in human life, you must study biology. It's sort of suggestion, or you can say an obligation in some way. He is applying for a job at the university. He might get it. It's a possibility. Can I have a glass of water, please? It's a question and a polite request. The players must practice in order to win the match. It's an obligation and necessity. Underline the verbs and write at the end of the sentence whether it is action or linking verb. She looks fine. Looks is a linking verb. She looked into the street. Looked, action verb. He is the best soccer player in the world. Linking verb. She was the great in her new performance. Was is a linking verb. He seems confused. It's also a linking verb. Identify the minimal pairs in the following words. So here a list is given and we have to arrange those words in the form of minimal pairs. Sing, think, fell, fill, path, pass, sing, think, left, lift, thick, sick. So you can see either the difference or the between the two words is at the end or at the beginning or even at the middle. So with the slight difference at the end or beginning or at the middle, they become minimal pairs with each other. For example, in one of them, sink or think. Here, the first at the start of the word, there is a slight difference. So they both make a minimal pair. Hope this concept is clear to you, and we will be continuing other lessons too. Until then, I hope you have learned a lot and will do so in a better way in the future and with the rest of the chapters, inshallah. Allah Hafiz.